Hi everyone, I go by the name of Kevin Kryptonite and welcome to the channel. Before we get into this video, I'd just like to preface that I am a bit sick. I got a cold a couple of days back and I'm still getting over it, so if my voice does sound horrendous, please excuse me. We'll get through this together, right? I promise you. So today on this episode of Playing Offline, I'd like to discuss indie games. Indie being independent, games being games, of course. So yes, independent games. So what kind of I classify as an independent game is a developer or a publisher that isn't more than 20. I think I've seen people, I've heard of developers that are just two people in the company and have developed some wonderful games. Indie games really came in a time where we were having an influx of, not that it's a bad thing, but there was definitely that realm of we're getting a lot of open world games. Every other game you tend to look at seemed to be open world, whether it be Assassin's Creed, whether it be like Shadow of Mordor, whether it be a Rockstar game like GTA or Horizon Zero Dawn. Every single game that you wanted to buy seemed like it wanted to be open world, and indie games gave us a bit of a break from that, showing us that you don't have to necessarily be a big powerhouse studio to produce a game that is actually fun to play, that is thoughtful, that's just beautiful to look at even sometimes. For example, Journey is one of those games that when I first heard about it, I'm like, okay, fine, it looks pretty, but then what's the point? All you do is collect, I think it's like scarves. So yeah, you collect items and that's it. You don't attack an enemy, you can't even speak, there's no dialogue. But I swear to you that if ever you get the chance to play Journey, you need to do yourself that favor. That game is beautiful, and it doesn't take too much of your time, which is something else I'm going to get into indie games. It doesn't take too much of your time. It's something that you can play and get through quickly, and it's definitely worth a buy. But in today's video of Playing Offline, as I was saying, I would like to discuss Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a farming simulation role-playing video game. It's developed by Eric Barron. He also goes by the name of, what is it? I think it's Curious Ape or something. It was originally published by Chucklefish. The game was originally released for Microsoft Windows, like in February of 2016, and then later on it got ports to, let me see if I can get this all right. It was Mac OS, Linux, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PS Vita, iOS, and Android. So basically any platform that you want to play this game, you could probably find it there, and you could probably find it for really cheap because it's not a too taxing game. I mean, for it to even be on iOS and Android tells you that it's a pretty put together game. The game was heavily inspired by Harvest Moon. So if you want to find out what kind of influences it have, like Harvest Moon has the same sorts of sensibilities as it. So yeah, let's start Stardew Valley. Now, when you begin the game, you start off with so there is some text to speech. No, well, not to speech. It's a text scrolling kind of game. That's how you get dialogue. There is no actual words being spoken. You start off at the game as you working in a corporate company. This art style, by the way, before we get there, it's pixel arted. So think of Excite Bike, think of Super Mario, that kind of style, but then it's been up-resed. So it's just sort of it's stylized that way. But yes, you start off and your character is working up in a corporate company, unhappy with their job, and then they get this letter that they had been saving from their now deceased grandparent. And the letter reads that if ever you feel you're crushed by the pressures of the city, I have a farm that I have stored away in Stardew Valley. You can go there and start your life over again if you feel like the corporate world isn't for you. And that's how the game begins. So you inherit a farm, essentially, and you get to create your own character. You get to pick their hair, pick their clothes, pick their skin tone. You can make them an alien if you want. It's very, very expressionary. It's very choose how you like to play. So once you get to the farm, you are given a tour by the mayor of this valley or the city or this village. he used to be a very close friend to your granddad, obviously, and he says that he welcomes you to the village. And now the game just is open up to you. There are NPCs that you can interact with, and it rewards you in terms of like how should I put this? Think about the Sims. Like, you build relationships based on which NPCs you interact with. It's like a heart system, and you can gift people gifts on their birthdays. You can go fishing. You can obviously farm. You can explore caves and fight different creatures found in caves. You can mine in different caves, and this allows you also to get better gear to help you farm better. Really, it seems like it's a lot, but then the game does a good job of giving it up to the player to decide which way they want to play. Do you want to focus solely on farming? Do you want to focus on getting into the caves, finding the rarest materials? Do you want to get into the engaging of different NPCs? This is important because you can actually marry the NPCs in this game. Like, if you build a high enough relationship with one of the NPCs, whether it be a guy or a girl, depending on whoever you want, you can marry one of the NPCs, and then they eventually will also help you maintain your farm. So that's nice. Stardew Valley is definitely one of those sit back, relax, don't think too much, and just enjoy the beauty of the game. I wanted to bring up indie games because in this day and age of shooters and AAA games, sometimes you don't have enough time to fully experience those AAA games. Sometimes you just want to go in for an hour 45, and get something done really quick, get your gaming fix in, and then head to doing life basically. And Stardew Valley definitely lends to that, because the farming system works on I think it's like a 6-hour in-game day-night cycle. At night, event your character has to sleep, otherwise they pass out. So you have to maintain your energy bar, your health bar, and all the little actions that you do, they deplete that bar. So you also need to eat as well. The 4 basic tools that you're given when you begin the game is it's a pickaxe, an axe for chopping wood. You get a watering can and a hoe. Yeah, and that's going to be your basic tools for you to start farming. Buy seeds, you can build fences, you can stretch out your farm in whichever way you want. Actually, when you begin the game, there are 3 types of farm styles that you can choose from. I think it being forest, desert, and I forget the last, tropical, yeah, we'll call it that. And you can now progress the game from that point forward. Stardew Valley did get an update that allows you to play multiplayer now. So if you have the game and I have the game, we can load each other into the same instance where we have your farm and I have my farm, but I would be loaded into your game, helping you to manage your resources, to fish, or to go into the mines, and that progress can then be split in between the two of us, depending on if you want to do that or not. You can also marry people on multiplayer, so my character could marry your character or vice versa. And I feel like that was a good addition. When the game first launched, it didn't have that, and it's not something that anybody was really looking to get, but it is now there. And I think that also adds a better layer to this wonderful little game. So yeah, because it's an indie game, it's not gonna set you back too much. I think I bought it for $85 of the PS Store. So yeah, it's definitely not gonna kill your wallet. But for what type of gameplay you're getting, it is more than worth it. So I do recommend that if you're looking for a game to just sit down with your girl maybe and just enjoy a fun little game to watch, a fun little game to experience, or if you're coming back from a rough night out and you're too much into the sauce, I'll put it that way, to play an FPS, you can play this just so for you to get yourself leveled and then go to sleep. So yeah, that's my review of Stardew Valley. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I've been Kevin Kryptonite. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.